We are back and better than ever. Welcome to the Enhancement Talent Podcast, wherever you may be and however you may be listening. We appreciate you stopping by. I am your host, Brock Fluker, and I'm joined by Chris Kirby.
The unprofessional one in the house.
Yes, we are here. Not live, but we're here.
Well, we're live now.
Yeah, we're live to ourselves, but it will be live to you whenever I actually edit this and put it up, so probably Thursday. I'm happy to say that before we get into the Raw review, I was able to get this podcast going on a few more different outlets. Very happy with where we're available at. We're on Spreaker, Podbean, iTunes, Google Play, and now we're even on Spotify and Stitcher Radio. So, plenty of places to be able to find this podcast wherever you prefer. And if you have the chance on Stitcher and iTunes in particular to leave a 5-star review, it helps this podcast grow infinitely, and we would greatly appreciate any help we could get on helping this grow. And if you leave a review, we'll read it out here on the show, give you a little shout out. But other than that, we're going to get right into things. We've got the Raw review, we've got the SmackDown review, and then we're also going to go over the preview and predictions for WWE Super Showdown this Saturday. It'll be airing at 5 a.m. Eastern Time, which is where we are at. So I'm sure, Chris, you'll be watching this live, right?
It's very possible.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not decided yet if I will watch this live or not. It just depends on how my sleep is, I guess. But who knows? Maybe I'll be there and watch it live, see if something crazy happens, especially with the Undertaker and Triple H match. Maybe I can get a YouTube video up.
There you go.
But other than that, we're gonna try to do a review of the show also on Sunday, and hopefully be able to have it out then on Sunday. I'm gonna have a busy day Sunday though, so I'm not sure. My sister's getting married on Sunday, so I'm not entirely sure if I'll be able to edit this and have it out that day, but if not, we'll have it out on Monday.
Well, this is more important.
It is. Honestly, it's such an inconvenience that my sister decided to get married when there's a Steeler game that day, and I've got to record a podcast, edit a podcast. Like,
the podcast is special. The marriage is going to end eventually.
One way or another.
Yeah.
But enough of that you guys did not click on this podcast for. We are going to get into the Raw review. So we opened up Raw with Dean Ambrose. His music played. He was out there on his own. No Shield brethren. And Kathy Kelly is in the ring awaiting an interview for him. And Dean played pretty heavily into the whole turning on the Shield thing here. He said there's a lot of truth to everything that Braun, Drew, and Dolph were saying last week. And, he's thought about leaving the Shield and all this other stuff that led you to believe that he will eventually turn on the Shield. But in the end, he did say that the Shield stands strong together and tried to kind of put it back together in the end there. Baron Corbin came out, and Dean called him a substitute teacher, again.
Which is still funny.
It got less funny the second week, I gotta be honest.
You're less funny.
No, I'm sorry. But Corbin gave Dean 3 options, and this was pretty fascinating. He gave him the option that he could either face Seth Rollins for the Intercontinental title, or he could face Roman Reigns for the Universal title, or he could face Braun Strowman. And those were his 3 options.
Which I was surprised he gave him 3.
Yeah. Yeah, it was clear what he was trying to do here, trying to turn them against each other, just to see if Ambrose would bite on the opportunity at either of those titles. But Dean said he wants secret option number 4, which is a match with Baron Corbin. And Corbin just said, well, I guess I made your choice for you. Here's Braun Strowman.
Which I think we all saw coming anyway.
Yeah, I mean, that was clearly what was going to end up happening anyway. It felt like it would have been pretty anticlimactic if the turn for Ambrose was just getting that title match on that show. So I don't think anyone really expected that. But we got Braun versus Dean as the opening match. So there wasn't a lot to this match early. Braun worked some rest holds early, which it's just so weird seeing Braun Strowman work headlocks and things like that when we're very used to his matches not really having that sort of stuff.
No.
But, now he's a heel, so you gotta be a heel, and in WWE being a heel is working rest holds.
Yep, running the clock.
Yeah, that sets up for the comeback for Dean later. Dean got some shots in on the leg on Braun. Did a dive to the outside. Eventually, Braun got back control, beat on Dean on the outside, threw him into the ring, and he hit the power slam. And he was lifting him up for another one when Roman Reigns' music hits. And he goes after Braun, but Braun would catch him. And then Seth would come down to make it 2-on-1. Seth hits the running knee on Strowman. And Roman and Seth force Strowman out of the ring. And Dolph and Drew come out from the back after that to be with Strowman on the stage. And Corbin would come out to announce that it would be Seth versus Drew for later in the night, and it would be Roman Reigns versus Dolph Ziggler right now.
Did you catch the that first slam by Strowman? He didn't even do a running power slam.
No,
he just dropped.
He does some of them like that. Like sometimes he gets the running start, and then sometimes he just picks him up and drops him down.
It's like he's ticked off, so he's not even gonna try moving. He's just gonna slam him.
Yeah.
It didn't look as good as it normally does.
Yeah, it definitely looks better when you do the running version, but I don't know. Maybe it's just like they don't want it to look as good so that people don't like it as much and don't want to cheer it. I mean, I don't know.
They're going to cheer Braun no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they were pretty over Braun, though, at this point. It's just like he was hot for a while, but now that they've turned him, I feel like it's actually cooled him off. I mean, unless he's in the ring with Roman, then obviously they're going to cheer him. But other than that, he just feels like he's getting more flat reactions than anything.
Well, better than negative. Well, not really.
Yeah, if you're a heel, you want the negative reaction. But Braun, I don't really feel like people are too into this at the moment.
I think it'll be over once Saturday's done.
We can only hope. But I'm not sure after all this that they'll be able to just turn Braun back babyface.
No, I think they'll just let him go off on his own, do what he wants, like he has been.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that they did not capture what they had with him when he was a face. But we'll move on. We went to a break after that, and we came back and had Seth and Dean in the trainer's room as Dean was getting looked at. Rollins comes in, and Dean says that, he could have beat Strowman, and Rollins is just trying to console Ambrose a bit. And Dean gets pissed off at this and tells Seth that I could be an Intercontinental Champion right now.
Yeah.
Furthering the wedge between these three.
And he could, because if you think about it,
if he chose the match.
Yeah.
With Seth, he could have been.
Because, Strowman, Ziggler, and McIntyre would have made sure he won.
Yeah. Definitely worked within the confines of that story. Continued to further Seth and Dean and Roman from each other. And then after that, we get back to the ring, and all of a sudden the referee is holding up the Universal title. So I guess during the commercial, Roman himself made this a championship match.
Well, the way Corbin said it, you really didn't know if it was a title match or not.
Well, he never said it was, so that normally means it's not. But yeah. I guess Roman, on his own merit, just decided that he'll put the title up for no reason.
Makes for good TV.
Which just seems dumb, but baby faces are stupid sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, I'll put my title against you even though I don't have to. But, that's typical stuff. Nothing really major about it. But Corbin comes back out and he says that Roman does not get to make championship matches. Only Corbin does. And he tells Roman that he's not putting that title on the line until the Saudi Arabia show and the triple threat match against Braun Strowman and Brock Lesnar.
Which should not be a triple threat. It should be him and Strowman. That's it.
Yeah, but I've seen enough of Roman versus Braun at this point.
Well, we just need one more match just so Braun can get that damn title off of him.
Yeah.
We don't need Brock in the mix.
But it's not happening.
I know.
Roman's going to win there, too.
Yeah, I know.
Alright, so we had the Roman versus Dolph match. Dolph Corbin, after he made the announcement, says to ring the bell. The ref rings the bell, and right away Dolph gets the jump on Roman. And he takes control of the early parts of the match. Hit a jumping DDT on the outside to Roman. And eventually Roman would make his comeback. He would go for a Samoan drop, but Dolph raked to the eyes and out of the sight of the referee, I guess. The referee was kind of behind them, so couldn't see it. And Dolph goes for the sweet chin music with Shawn Michaels being advertised later in the show. We had Dolph doing his impersonation.
But at least Dolph is consistent and does it every time.
Yes. So Roman countered that with a Superman punch. Dolph kicked out. Roman went for a spear, but Dolph countered it into a sunset flip. And, oh yeah, this is where the production kind of just messed up. Because while the finish is happening, we get a shot of the freaking fans.
Yeah.
And it cuts back to the ring, and then out of nowhere, Roman is bouncing off the ropes and hits a spear, which Dolph sold this great. This was a really good spear.
Yeah, it was.
It looked like Christian Goldberg sorts of vibes there. Dolph really got up there and took it very well.
He made Reigns look good.
Yes, which is the ultimate goal in every match that even doesn't involve Roman. But on the replay, you could see that Dolph and Roman's heads kind of collide, like they both tried to headbutt each other, and then Roman bounced off the ropes and hit the spear. So that was the finish that we didn't see. And after that, we had Ronda Rousey in a singles match against Ruby Riott. Which, I feel like this was a waste of what could have been a marquee match at some point later. I feel like we really should have saved Ruby Riott for a later match with Ronda in a one-on-one sort of circumstance.
Definitely. It was too early.
Yeah. And I'm really, as much as I love Ronda, she's one of my favorites right now, I'm totally falling in love with Ruby Riott, too. She is incredible.
And I like the tan going on.
She looked very good in this match. She's definitely someone that I would like to see get a better position, and I think she could be someone that should challenge Ronda for the title later down the line, but this didn't really help that case. We had the Bellas in Ronda Rousey's corner, and the Riott Squad, including Liv Morgan, out there in Ruby Riott's corner.
Yeah. But at least, she didn't get knocked out.
No,
Brie wasn't involved in the match. So.
She definitely wasn't going to be competing tonight.
No.
I'm curious though if she is going to be okay to wrestle on Saturday's show.
I'm curious because they said she would.
They didn't really hint towards anything else. So I'm wondering if they know that she'll be ready yet, or if they might have to make a last minute replacement or anything like that. But regardless, they cut to a promo from earlier as the Riot Squad made their entrance of the Riot Squad, and they said it would be beautiful when Ruby gives Ronda her first loss. All that. And the match started off quickly with Ronda taking the offense, throwing Ruby Riott around like she is one to do to everyone with the judo throws and whatnot.
Because that's like the only throw that she knows how to do.
Yeah, she does that a lot. But Ruby would eventually take control and pull Ronda face first into the post on the outside. Eventually, Ronda would do her typical firing up stuff, hitting the rapid fire punches. She hit gut wrench powerbomb, the Samoan drop that isn't a Samoan drop.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
The Rousey drop.
Yeah, it's not a bad name. And she does that, gets the armbar, quick tap by Ruby Riott.
Yeah. It wasn't much of a match, really. Just a little warm-up, I guess.
It wasn't a bad match. It didn't go entirely long, but it was pretty good.
Yeah, but, it was a pretty good match, just nothing major.
But I don't get the booking behind this. That now we've seen. I don't know who it was that I think the Bellas, when they teamed up a few weeks ago, beat like Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan. Something like that.
Yeah.
And now we've already seen Ronda beat Ruby one-on-one. So I'm not really sure like what's enticing us to see their match at Super Showdown when the baby faces have already beat them.
Yeah. What's the point?
And like I said, I feel like Ruby Riott should be set up to be the next challenger for Ronda. Doesn't appear like that will be in the plans, at least at this moment, with how they handled this here.
No, I think they're going to push Nikki before anybody.
Yeah, it's supposed to be Nikki versus Ronda at Evolution.
Oh, that's right, I forgot.
Maybe we'll get Ruby versus Ronda after that at some point.
Yeah, we need to go back to Reigns and Ziggler just a second. I saw when Ziggler did the roll-up on Reigns, he had his tights. The ref looked directly at Ziggler holding the tights and kept counting. Why is that? He saw it. There's no way around.
I do remember that. It wasn't in the finish because he did the sunset flip, but before that he did like the schoolboy and had his pants or whatever. But yeah,
but the ref looked right at it.
Yeah, that's whatever. All right, we'll keep moving, though. Up next, we had Bobby Roode and Chad Gable out. The slowly rising team.
Yeah. But they're getting there.
Losses to the Ascension isn't going to help them, but, you know. So we had Bobby Roode versus Connor of the Ascension. This was the second week in a row that we see Connor in one-on-one action. Last week, he beat Chad Gable, and this week he beats Bobby Roode.
And I'm again impressed with Connor.
I can't say the same, honestly.
It's just because I'm not used to him being on his own in singles matches and winning anything.
Yeah, I mean, Connor was fine, I guess. I didn't really have any sort of notes from this match. Not a whole lot really happens. Connor won with the Dominator sort of thing.
But the best part was with Gable on the stairs. That's the end of the match.
Gable's on the stairs doing the glorious pose as Roode is going to set up for the DDT, and Victor comes in, blindsides Gable, and that distracted Roode for Connor to pick up the win.
But, come on. Gable got some hang time.
Yeah, he did fly there.
Man, he hit hard too. It looked like it might have hurt a little bit. At least him, not me.
Yeah. So another loss for Chad Gable and Bobby Roode. I feel like this is ultimately probably just going to lead to Bobby turning heel eventually.
I was thinking it's going to lead to a Roode and Gable winning.
You would think.
Since they both lost against Connor in the Ascension, they're going to win in the tag match.
Yeah. But they've already beaten them in the tag match, so I don't even get... It's the Ascension. Who cares? Why are we losing to the Ascension? Why couldn't we do this same thing? Well, what if we did this same thing with Bobby Roode and Chad Gable, but instead we put the Revival there, and they lose to the Revival? Because at least then you're losing to credible opponents.
So that's true. Yeah.
I mean, the Revival aren't exactly credible, but they're more credible than the Ascension.
Come on now, let's just put the B team up in there instead. Roode and Gable against the B team.
Yeah, but then you have the face versus face thing, and plus it's the B team that nobody wants to see.
You do. They're your favorite.
So we transitioned here into a moment of bliss.
I love my moments of bliss.
Yeah, they brought this back. They had this, I believe, going into WrestleMania with the matches with Nia Jax.
Yeah, talking about bullying her and all that.
And there was some gold in there with Alexa talking about how she tried to give her burrito bowl to a homeless person, and then Nia ate it and maniacally laughed.
Yeah.
That was some good stuff. So Bliss goes into this and talks about heroes and says that Trish was her hero, and she talked about meeting Trish Stratus for the first time. And this was something that a lot of people posted, so I'm not really gonna take credit for it. But Alexa says that she was 7 when she met Trish. Trish Stratus debuted in 2000. And
it wasn't that late, was it?
Around there.
I thought for sure it was in the 90s. I would think. Yeah, I might be wrong.
From what I looked at, it said that she debuted in the 2000.
Okay.
2000.
Okay. Sure.
But nonetheless, Alexa is 27. She was 12 when Trish Stratus debuted. So she was not 7 when she supposedly met her. I guess Alexa forgot how old she is.
You said Bliss is 27?
Yeah, I believe that's what it was.
Okay.
So if you go back 18 to 2000...
It'd be 9 years.
Yeah. I don't know. I might be getting things mixed up because I read this somewhere else and didn't take a note of it. But nonetheless, she was not 7.
Yeah. She's about as tall as she was now. She was at 7 years old. I mean, what, like 4 foot nothing?
Something like that.
But yeah.
So after that, we got the aforementioned B team.
Yay, again.
And the Revival come out, but they don't get an entrance because they came out during the commercial. And we get back, and the match has already started. So we didn't even see the beginning of the match or anything.
Which is weird. They don't normally do that.
Yeah, we didn't see the Revival enter. We didn't know that the B team was even going to face the Revival. They were just coming out.
Yeah. Usually, they'll have the teams come out, then go to break, and the music stops when they come back. Yeah,
or at least they'll come back from commercial and the team will be in the ring with their music playing.
Yeah.
And then you start the match after that. But I found it odd that Bo Dallas on the apron as Curtis Axel is being worked over. He keeps doing the B team, go, go, go chants. And you can hear the crowd doing it.
Some of them.
But if you look on what they show on television, on the hard cam, everyone's just standing still.
Yeah.
Sitting on their hands.
So where are these people at that are cheering?
I don't know. I feel like it would be a waste of time to pipe in these cheers. But I don't know. It just seemed odd that everyone in the hard cam was just standing there bored out of their minds.
Yeah, I was.
but somehow someone somewhere was chanting this.
Yeah. You know, somebody's always going to chant it. Just because.
Just because. But Axel gets worked over for the majority of this match until he finally gets the hot tag to Bo Dallas. And Bo runs wild for a while until the Revival eventually take back control. Then Scott would tag in Dash Wilder. And they would Dash would go to the top rope, and Scott is going to throw him from the top rope to a splash on Dallas. And Bo gets the knees up, rolls up Dash as Curtis Axel on the outside pulls Scott Dawson out of the ring. And that would be your match. The B team win with the roll-up.
But it was, I can't remember which one. It was either Dash or Dawson's birthday, Monday. They announced it during the match.
No, it was Curtis Axel's birthday.
Oh, Axel's? I thought they said Dawson.
No, they said it was Curtis Axel's birthday.
Hey, well, at least I got the same match.
Yeah. And after this, because AOP comes down and kills the B team.
Thank God.
And Corey said something about that being a birthday present for Axel.
Okay.
So I do remember that at least.
B team versus AOP at Super Showdown pre-show. 30-second match.
Yeah, AOP needs to just destroy everyone at this point.
Pretty much. It's going to take a miracle for a team to actually beat them one-on-one, clean.
So we got another Dean Ambrose backstage segment. This time Roman is the one that comes up to talk to Dean. And he just asks him if everything's all right. And, Dean says that he could have beat Strowman. Roman says, well, yeah, but you also could have gotten hurt. And then what does that leave us with on Saturday? And, that I felt like that kind of played into Dean's sort of thing between the Shield, is that they're only interested in themselves.
Using him.
Because it portrayed there that Roman only cared because he needs him for the match.
Yeah.
So that was good. And Dean says at the end, if I wasn't such a nice guy, I could be Universal Champion right now.
Yeah.
So.
Which I wouldn't mind seeing again.
Yeah, I'd love it if Dean eventually beats Roman for the title after he turns heel at some point.
Sometime next year, I'm guessing.
But more dissension between the Shield leading into that match. We randomly got Baron Corbin congratulating AOP backstage. They shook hands.
Well, yeah.
Not really much to that. Drake Maverick is the mastermind behind all this.
And
that
I
is
swear he
pushing
looks
him
like
to the top.
A little kindergartner standing next to Corbin and AOP.
He is very small.
I mean, he is so little.
So we get Dolph, Drew, and Braun backstage. And this is where we actually got some dissension between these three, is where Dolph says he thinks Ambrose is going to turn on the Shield, have him right where they want him. And Braun says that he would want Dean as a part of this team. And says that he's a winner and he's a tough bastard.
Yeah.
Just not when he's facing him. So he tells Drew that Braun does. He tells Drew he needs to beat Seth tonight. And then he looks at Dolph and says, we don't have room for weak links.
Yep.
Which kind of made me laugh just because it's Dolph Ziggler. But no weak links.
But yet Ziggler won.
Yeah. Or, no, Ziggler lost this week.
Oh, did he?
He lost to Roman.
Oh, that's right.
But, yeah. I mean, Dolph is always going to be a weak link.
Could you imagine Dolph and Dean just switching?
That's what I was just thinking, is what if,
Dolph goes to the Shield after Dean leaves?
No, what I was thinking is, what if both Dolph and Dean both leave, and then they form their own team?
Oh.
And then you have a 2 versus 2 versus 2.
Triple threat tag team.
Yeah.
Ooh, I didn't think about that.
You'd have a Braun and Drew versus Seth and Roman versus Dean and Dolph.
I didn't think about that. That would be a good match. But let's face it, Braun and Drew would have the upper hand.
Yeah, that would be a good team in itself.
Oh, yeah, be unstoppable.
But I imagine that Dean will probably be a solo act when we get there.
Oh, yeah, they're going to... I wouldn't be surprised if they put him back on SmackDown.
Yeah, they...
After WrestleMania when they do the shake-up.
Yeah, they could. I see him staying on Raw, though. I think he should.
He should, because Renee Young's on Raw.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely part of it.
I know, I'm sure it is.
Sometimes they just like to split them up, though.
Yeah.
Like, they do that with couples a lot. Just put them on opposite brands.
Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, yeah, you guys are dating? Watch this.
So up next, we had Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre. Rollins started off quick on offense, did his dive, and did some hard-hitting moves right out of the gate on Drew. Eventually, Drew would take control with a kick to the ribs and slowed it down a bit. McIntyre hit a sidewalk slam off of the steps onto the apron, which is something I haven't really seen before. That was nice.
Yeah.
That was neat. So Rollins had went for the buckle bomb twice in this match, and he sort of tries to lift him up in the power bomb, but he can't get him up. So eventually, Seth goes to the top rope, and it looks like he's probably going to go for the frog splash, but Drew gets up before then and meets Seth on top, and Rollins does the sunset flip into the power bomb.
He almost dropped him.
I think that's what he wanted it to look like, because it looked like it was a struggle to get him up.
Or maybe he just couldn't get him set right.
Yeah.
McIntyre's a big boy.
Yeah, but eventually Seth would run to the opposite corner, hit the buckle bomb. I thought that was a cool little thing they did, how they do it with Seth a lot when he faces like bigger guys, is that he won't be able to get him up in a regular power bomb, so what he does is the sunset flip
from the top of the turnbuckle.
Yeah. And then he's able to get him up because they're already there.
Yeah.
Which is actually the move that he injured himself against Kane in a house show. That's where he first had his knee injury, when he did that sunset flip and his knee just gave out.
Wow.
Yeah, but cool stuff with Seth and Drew. This was a good match. I feel like it's only scratching the surface on what those two could do with each other. Drew would go for a reverse Alabama slam, but Rollins rolled him up instead off of this. And Seth would warm up for the stomp, but Ziggler's music hits, and he runs down, gets in the ring. Seth goes for the stomp on Ziggler, or Zogler, as I have in my notes here. That's a typo.
Just Zogler.
But Dolph rolls out, and after that, Seth turns around right into a Claymore kick, and Drew gets the win.
Okay, what's the difference between a Claymore kick and a Brogue kick?
Well, the Brogue kick is more like a sort of a bicycle kick sort of thing. The Claymore, it looks more like it's like a running, jumping, just boot.
Okay.
And Drew falls too when he does the Claymore. Sheamus would stay standing, so he gets like a. There are two moves that are similar but different, I guess, in execution.
I was just curious.
I mean, they essentially have the same effects. It's just
foot to face.
Yeah. So Seth and Dolph and Drew would go for the beatdown on Seth. Roman would come out to even it up. Then Braun would come out, and eventually it sort of had you waiting, like, is Ambrose going to help? Ambrose comes out with an axe handle.
Yeah.
Which this is the second time that we've seen the Shield use axe handles as weapons. I feel like you're missing the actual weapon parts there.
Well, yeah, but this isn't the Attitude Era. Otherwise, it'd still be there.
I'd just like to see Dean running down with an axe.
That would be funny. That would be great. Or I'd like to see him, just break one of the little fire cages in the back and steal the axe and just run down to the ring. Make it look good.
But nonetheless, Dean takes out Braun on the outside with the axe handle, and he scares Drew and Dolph to the outside.
Well, he
hit them a couple times.
Well, he got Drew with just in the gut.
Yeah, but they both rolled out.
Yeah.
And Dean would try to go after them, then instead Braun mauled him. And then everyone hit their finishers on the babyfaces.
Yep. And then they all stood there and put their fists out like the Shield.
Yeah, they did. They did the dreaded Shield fist bump.
The Shield fist bump. Yeah.
How disrespectful.
How dare they?
So, Elias and Kevin Owens are backstage.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Now this is before they actually come out, and it's feeding into commercial. And Elias has like a table that I guess is set up for him, and we have Kevin Owens is throwing nuts at a producer because it was supposed to be almonds, and he got him cashews or something. And there was some spinach that Kevin Owens was eating. Unfortunately, it did not turn him into Popeye and for this match. But we have Elias and Owens in the ring, and we do the typical Elias.
This has got to be the longest segment of the whole damn show.
This was hilarious.
I'm over Elias in the ring, on the mic. I'm over it. He's good wrestling, but I'm over this guitar playing and trying to sing crap, making fun of the audience. It's just getting old. Find something new to do.
It's funny for me every time.
Nah. Just
how the crowd initially cheers him until he says something about their hometown, and they're like, "Oh, hey, boo!"
Yeah. It's always the same thing. Just switch it up, do something different once in a while.
Yeah, I don't know. I enjoy it more than you do, but
it seemed like it took forever to fast forward through this.
Oh, don't tell me you fast forward through this.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you missed.
Well, I had reasons last night to skip through a bunch.
Right. But there was some hilarity in this.
Well, I noticed, once in a while when I stopped, the audience would be laughing or cheering, making noise. So I knew something was going on.
Did you ever miss this? So Elias strums on his guitar for a while. He asks who wants to walk with Elias. Owens raises his hand. They say Cena and Lashley teaming doesn't make sense. And Elias's line here is, it's like having a basketball team in Seattle. And this, of all of the cheap heat that Elias has done, this boo went on for the entire segment.
Yeah, I noticed that. I don't know what he said, but I noticed nothing but boos afterwards.
Yeah, because, of course, the Seattle Supersonics many years ago moved to Oklahoma City to become the Thunder. And
I didn't know that. I thought they were still in Seattle.
No,
I don't watch basketball ever.
Yeah, and that's something that there are a lot of people in Seattle that are very passionate about basketball, and they don't have a basketball team. And that struck a nerve with them. And
so is it like the same thing as like the Raiders going from LA to Oakland?
Yeah, pretty much. They just moved.
Okay.
And they haven't had a basketball team since then. But this is the loudest boo, and it just went on for the entire segment. And this is where what could have been something really cool was kind of brushed to the side, because Kevin Owens and Bobby Lashley, Kevin Owens and Elias, they have the whole promo scripted out, and they have to follow what they're supposed to do. Now, what they should have done is, when they got this reaction, is just build off of it instead. And instead, they had to go into a whole nother monologue about John Cena, and they did the whole promo on John Cena while the crowd is still booing so heavily that they have to yell into the mic. And, they do their whole promo on John Cena, how he's not around, we can't see him, and all that gubbins.
He's turned into Brock Lesnar.
But the crowd is still booing throughout all this, when eventually Lio Rush comes out, and he introduces Bobby Lashley. And again, Lio Rush doesn't play off of the crowd's reaction at all. He just does what he was supposed to do. And what they could have done here is just if you have Elias and Owens continue to build off the heat that they generated, and then eventually like Lio Rush comes out and he plays into that and says like Bobby Lashley is gonna dunk on you guys like Sean Kemp did or something like that. Feed into it.
Yeah.
And that would have turned that heat that they had into a positive reaction for Bobby Lashley, which once they actually got to Bobby Lashley entering and getting into the actual match, which is Kevin Owens versus Bobby Lashley, the crowd was dead. After all the heat
they
had.
30 minutes listening to Owens and Elias.
Yeah, but they had them, though.
Yeah.
They just didn't build on it.
And then they just dropped it once Lio Rush came out.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, that really hurt. Lashley.
Yeah, they definitely could have made this something better if they were allowed to improvise.
They need to do something. They had a nice build-up. And then they just let it go.
So, Lashley versus Owens, there was a funny moment early in this match where Owens has Lashley in like a headlock takedown, and he has Lashley on the mat with the headlock locked in. And Lashley starts to roll him up, but Owens is still on top of Lashley, and his shoulders aren't down. But the ref starts counting, and he goes 1, 2, and Owens rolls back up, and he yells back at the ref, "My shoulders aren't even down."
Yeah.
And Graves and Cole argue because Graves says, "Well, I gotta agree with Owens. I think that referee needs to pay more attention." And Cole was like, "Well, I think he was counting Lashley," and Corey was just like, "No, he wasn't." Then that was just it.
No, I think you got it backwards. I think Cole said that he was counting Lashley.
Yeah, that's what I said, right?
I thought you just said Corey.
Cole says that that he thinks he was counting Lashley, and Corey says no, he wasn't. That was pretty much it.
Yeah, but yeah, it was a funny little something.
So eventually, after this match, that was indeed a match. I'm not sure what else to really say about it, but Elias catches Lio Rush and puts him in a full Nelson.
But watching Lio try and get away from Elias.
Yeah, it's always... this has been a fun little game that Lio Rush has done where he just tries to evade everyone.
Compared to Elias. He's just so damn small.
Yeah.
He just fits in tight crevices and just...
Yeah.
He's quick.
So, this distracted Bobby, and Owens gets the schoolboy roll-up for the win.
What a crappy ending.
Yeah. It's the second week in a row, really, that they've just done a match just to have a match without a real finish.
And what's the point?
And with the John Cena and Bobby Lashley against Elias and Owens going into Saturday, I couldn't really care less about it. But nonetheless, the heels beat up on Bobby afterwards, and Lio would try to jump from the top rope to take out Elias, and Elias just swatted him down with both hands. That was kind of cool, I guess.
Well, he's so small, it doesn't take much.
Yeah, and they just beat on Lashley, and that was pretty much it.
Yeah, but I was really thinking Cena would come out and just save his partner, just a surprise.
Yeah,
my God, here's Cena.
Yeah, Corey was pointing that out on commentary that, Lashley's partner isn't here to help him.
Yeah.
So after this led to one of the funniest things of the night is, for one, the views on Mixed Match Challenge are so bad that we had to have Michael Cole teach us how to find it. And they go through a step-by-step process of how to find the Mixed Match Challenge on Facebook.
Wow.
So, but that's not even what I was talking about when I talk about what was freaking hilarious. Is we have Bayley versus Alicia Fox in the Mixed Match Challenge promotional match.
Yeah.
As I've dubbed that last week.
But, I know Fox is a heel, but man, can she sell the hell out of stuff.
Yeah, she's very good at...
She's good at losing and making it look good.
Yeah. Alright, so what was so hilarious about this, though, was Alicia Fox makes her entrance, and Jinder and Suneil Singh are with her, of course. And Michael Cole says that she's accompanied by Jinder Mahal and Ranjin Singh.
Really?
He called Suneil Singh Ranjin Singh.
Oh, wow.
And this was freaking hilarious. And Corey gives him all the crap in the world he can for that. And Cole covers it up because he says that he just had a conversation with Ranjin Singh beforehand. So he had Ranjin Singh on the mind.
Well, who is Ranjin Singh?
Do you remember Ranjin Singh?
No.
That was the Great Khali's translator.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it works because Ranjin Singh, actually, David Kapoor is his real name, is a writer for WWE, so it's fathomable that that was actually why Cole said that.
Okay. I didn't know that.
But I found that absolutely hilarious. I lost my mind as soon as he called Suneil Singh Ranjin Singh, because on the show all the time we mix up some Suneil and Samir all the time.
Yeah.
But I've never called him Ranjin Singh. This made me laugh so much.
Now, are the Singh brothers, are they twins?
I believe so.
Because they really look like it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they are. And they tried to play it off by saying that Ranjin Singh was like their dad or something.
Oh my gosh.
Which obviously he's not.
Any word on the other Singh brother when he's coming back?
I don't know if you saw that he posted Instagram photos a while back, and since his therapy and all that, he's jacked now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's
so he might make an actual
jacked to the gills. Yeah, he must have done the Jinder Mahal diet. He looks
steroids and lettuce.
Let's not make any accusations, but
no, I'm not accusing anybody.
But
it's all a joke.
Yeah, if you actually watch Jinder on his Instagram, which I see sometimes, is that his diet is just like consistently like egg whites.
Ugh.
Like that's like all the man eats.
God.
So it's not like you can just take roids and just instantly become that. You still have to.
You still got to eat right, work out.
Yeah, and even if he is on something, it's not groundbreaking news that a wrestler uses any sort of enhancements.
Of course not.
And there's stuff that you're allowed to use within the wellness policy and stuff you're not.
Yeah.
But that's a complete sidebar. But anyway, we had Bayley against Alicia Fox. This was basically a rerun of the match with Finn Balor and Jinder Mahal from last week.
Yeah, just opposite.
Yeah, Jinder tried to trip Bayley. Bayley hit him with a baseball slide, and then Finn came in with a sling blade to Jinder on the floor. Bayley hit a Bayley to belly to Alicia for the win.
Which was not very good looking.
No, she didn't get up high.
She barely lifted her.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because Bayley's so much shorter than Fox, but she barely got her off the ground.
Yeah, well, that's always... Alicia's got to get up higher.
Yeah, she needs to jump more.
Yeah, she's got to help her out on that. But a belly-to-belly suplex is always like a flat finish for me anyway.
Yeah, I mean...
I wish she'd come up with something
like a leg drop. How's it really going to finish somebody?
Yeah. I mean, unless you're Hulk Hogan and you have the leg made of steel or concrete that puts everyone away.
She used to do an elbow. I haven't seen her do an elbow.
Yeah, she did used to do the elbow. And
I can see that being a finisher off the top rope.
Yeah, and she hasn't done it in a while. I'm not sure if it was something with because there was the story when Kairi Sane came in and allegedly, and this ended up being wrong, was that they told her not to do the elbow drop anymore because we already have enough people doing elbow drops right now. And Kairi Sane still does the elbow drop, and she has
she makes it look good.
She has the best elbow drop of all time.
Yeah.
So maybe the reverse happened, and they just didn't want Bayley to do it because they wanted to save that for Kairi Sane when she gets called up eventually.
Well, I mean, no one really does an elbow. for a finisher anymore.
No, not as a finish. Definitely
or
not.
even just in a match. They really don't do it very often.
Yeah. But out next, we did have someone who used to do a nice elbow drop. Shawn Michaels.
Yes, HBK.
Shawn Michaels is out for the main event, and he cuts the promo, and he says he intended on going to Melbourne purely as a fan.
I call bold, but okay.
He said that he pried open his wallet and bought front row tickets and got everything ready.
I'd like to see the receipt.
Yeah.
I want to see where it said he paid for it.
I wonder if he sold them now or something.
Yeah, for real.
Shawn Michaels, the scalper.
he's part of the match now, so he don't need them, so he made profit.
You just see him outside the arena selling his tickets.
He's got Hornswoggle out there.
So Shawn talks about how he wanted to just be there ringside or whatever, but Undertaker made it personal. He warns Kane not to get involved, says that he'll super kick him if he does, and as soon as he does that, we get Kane.
Yes, we haven't seen him for a while.
Yep. Not since he was with Daniel Bryan.
And it's been, what?
A few months. I think it was
3-4 months.
I think
Maybe
it was
longer.
No, it was after Backlash. Whatever the pay-per-view after Backlash was, I think. Maybe.
So about 4 or 5 months.
Whenever. Nonetheless, we have Mayor Kane. Mayor Demon Kane.
Mayor Demon Kane.
And Kane doesn't enter through the front like Michaels is ready for him. Because you see, Michaels, with the years of experience he had, he did not expect Kane to appear behind him.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, that's always what happens. And Kane comes in right behind Shawn, and when he turns around, gives him a right uppercut. And after this, the gong hits, and Taker appears in the ring as well.
If you look, when the lights go out, you can actually see Taker come into the ring.
See, I try not to look for that stuff. I
don't try to look for it. It just appears.
I don't want to ruin the magic.
Well.
He appeared in that ring. That's all we know, for sure.
Okay, I didn't know you were 12. Okay.
So Undertaker's magic powers get him in the ring. And eventually Triple H comes in to try to even the odds, trying to take out both of them. Eventually the numbers catch up with him. Kane and Undertaker hit stereo choke slams to the two. It's been a while since we've seen the nice double choke slam.
Yes.
And Taker, they went to leave, but Triple H is starting to make it up to his feet. So Taker comes back in, and he hits Triple H with the tombstone. And Undertaker and Kane would go up the ramp. They'd do their look back and then fist thing that they do.
Now, is it me or has Kane put on some weight?
It's
he looks a little bit bigger in the gut than he did before.
Yeah, I remember, I think the time before last he came back, he looked like he was in better shape. But now it looks like he's definitely a little more.
You can tell he's a politician now.
Yeah, I mean, he's transitioning to the political scene. So, he doesn't have to be Kane anymore, at least on a frequent basis.
No, but you still want to keep in shape if you're going to ever be Kane.
Yeah, but he's a busy guy. Maybe he just doesn't have time.
He's the mayor of Knox County. Well, I guess he will be anyway, when they vote next month.
I thought he was already.
Well, I thought the elections weren't till November.
No.
I thought he just won the primary.
No, he won the whole thing.
Okay. I didn't think they voted yet. So he's the mayor of Knox County. And you're telling me he can't find 20, 30 minutes a day to go to a gym?
I'm not going to stress too much on it.
I'm not either.
It still Kane.
But it was fun because I was in Knox County when I evacuated for the hurricane.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was right outside Knoxville, which is the edge of Knox County.
Huh.
Just a fun little fact that I thought was cool.
You didn't sit in on a board meeting with Kane or anything?
No, I didn't want to go to Knoxville. There's too many people.
But that was the end of Raw. And, that was a good go-home segment. The crowd was really into this. It was just old-school wrestling, really. Just nice go home, build to the pay-per-view. And it really worked so much because people are invested in Undertaker, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Kane.
Yeah.
They're all big characters.
Old-time characters.
And it's unfortunate that we can't get this sort of feeling for many people on the roster now. But eventually the nostalgia runs out.
Well, you have to look, the people watching Undertaker, Kane, HBK, Triple H, they were more than likely they watched them during Attitude Era when they made a name for themselves.
Yeah.
Now the nostalgia comes
before
in.
that in the 90s too.
Yeah. So, I mean, give it time. Some of the current stars will have the legacy that these do.
I don't know. I feel like we should be using these guys more to help the guys that need it.
Use them as jobbers?
Not really as jobbers, but just to help get someone else over. Like Undertaker is working with Triple H right now.
Again, for the last time.
Yeah, for the last time. There are plenty of newer guys that could have used a match with him, I guess. But,
even at a loss, a match against The Undertaker is great on your record.
Yeah.
I mean, who wouldn't want that?
I guess he did have the match with Rusev.
But, well, is that what that was?
Yeah. It was kind of a match, I guess.
Well, the bell rang twice. I guess that's a match.
Yeah. Other than that, though, pretty good show, I thought. And so I gave this a say B-.
It's gonna be hard for me to give it a grade because, I mean, I had to miss a lot of the non-wrestling. But from what I saw, I'd say I'd give it a good B+, or solid B to B+, somewhere in that range.
Yeah.
For a go-home show,
pretty fun stuff.
It was pretty good.
Yeah. Furthered the storyline with the Shield and everyone there.
Which I'm glad.
The Triple H and Undertaker stuff was good.
Yeah, they keep saying last time ever. Now, are they going to start saying, it's been building up for 20 years or something like that?
The funny thing is that they ignore they never mentioned the first match between Undertaker and Triple H at WrestleMania. God, I can't remember
what year. Was that the one in the cage?
No, the one, they had the two at 27 and 28, I think. But there was one 10 years before that. I think.
Way back.
It was just a singles match. It might have been WrestleMania X7. I can't.
Well, X7 was a big WrestleMania.
Yeah, I can't entirely remember. But they had a singles match, and Undertaker won. But they never bring that one up.
Maybe nothing major happened.
Yeah, but it's just more.
Well, X7 that was also before they had the stature that they do now.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, that's almost 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So they, like The Undertaker, I think he debuted in the early 90s. I think.
Survivor Series 1992.
Yeah, so X7 was around 97, 98. So he was only there, 6 years.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be much to talk about compared to now.
Well, we're going to go into our SmackDown review now.
We will try.
Yeah.
Well, I will try.
So we open the show up with Paige in the ring.
Which is always fun to see Paige in the ring. Whether she's wrestling or not. Paige is awesome.
I like Paige, but I did not like this segment because this was very hokey. Paige opens by saying that Samoa Joe has committed the most dastardly crime in WWE history.
How?
Yeah. For one, that line just sounds ridiculous. And for two, Kane set Jim Ross on fire.
Yeah, exactly.
But let's not build this up.
There's more dastardly things that has come out of WWE just in the past 10 years.
Kane also tried to electrocute Shane McMahon's testicles with a car battery.
Yeah?
I feel like we could find 10 more dastardly things that just Kane has done.
Yeah, exactly. And then another 50 from everybody else.
Yeah.
I mean, how is Samoa Joe going to the house dastardly? What about, like we talked about, Triple H going into Randy Orton's house?
Yeah, and he actually
went in and threw him out the
beat up
window.
Orton. And yeah,
there's so much. What about filling Vince McMahon's convertible with cement from Stone Cold?
Yeah,
there's so much.
What about Rikishi running over The Rock? Oh, sorry, Stone Cold.
Stone Cold, yeah.
He did it for The Rock.
Yeah.
I did it for The Rock.
I mean, there's so many other things.
He attempted vehicular homicide.
Yeah.
Samoa Joe rang a doorbell.
Yeah, I know. Daddy's home. That's so dastardly.
But that's just an example of.
Maybe we should make like a top 20 countdown of just certain things.
Yeah.
Just like specials,
That would be fun, but this is just an example of WWE doing their whole. They tell us something and just expect us to believe it.
And it's also an example of how two wrestling fans like us remember crap we're not supposed to.
Yeah, that's part of the mindset. Is they don't remember that.
Well, yeah, they don't have common sense. It's the public.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what we're here for. And Paige transitions this to show a video of what happened last week, which, again, hokey.
Ooh, we see mailbox. We see house. He rings doorbell.
Yeah.
The end.
It just, with the gravity that they're trying to portray this situation as, it just seems so dumb for Paige to be kicking to a video package.
Now, what they should have done, and again, they should, but they didn't. They should have had the screen go black last week, and all you hear is the door open and Wendy screaming.
Yeah, that would have worked.
Just to set it up.
Yeah. You can still say that, like Paige said later in the promo, that the authorities arrived before Joe was able to enter the house. Because I guess that's what Paige did when she left the ring last week, was call the cops.
Yeah. But weren't they in the studio right behind where they were doing wrestling? It's probably a makeshift house in the back of the arena.
Yeah, I don't know.
But either way.
I felt like that they had like the whole neighborhood though, so I'm sure it was probably something they recorded earlier in the week.
Yeah.
Because it obviously wasn't a live feed.
But it obviously wasn't AJ's house either.
Well, yeah.
I mean, that mailbox was as fake as could be.
What do you mean it wasn't his house? It had his gimmick name on it. Not his real name, but his wrestler
exactly.
name. Which I hope that plenty of wrestlers just have their wrestling name on their mailbox and not their real name. Like,
just have Sting.
Yeah, Sting. Dana Warrior's house just says Warrior.
Yeah, well, I can see that one.
Papa Shango, his just says Papa.
Wow.
that could be taken
Papa Shango's Pizza.
That could be taken in a few different ways.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, Paige says that she was intending on firing Samoa Joe, but before she did, she talked to AJ Styles, and AJ begged her not to, because he wants his match with Joe at Super Showdown, and he wants to punish Joe and give him what he deserves in this match.
So does that mean if he loses, he's going to have Paige fire him?
Nah, they won't revisit that. But Paige also kicks to a video that AJ wanted her to show, which shows him at his home sitting on his couch. And immediately when I saw this, it reminded me of a segment. I think it might have been in the John Cena and Randy Orton feud in like 2007 or 2008, whenever it was, when Cena is supposedly at his home, but at the end they like pull the set away and you can see that he's backstage, and then he comes out and he beats up Randy Orton.
Okay, yeah.
I felt like that's what they were going to do here, that they were going to like pull away the set when Samoa Joe is out there, and then AJ comes out and attacks him.
That would be fun.
And that would have been a good go home angle for me, is like if they do that and they do the pull apart brawl with AJ and Joe right before then, and then that would have gotten me more excited to see this match, really.
Because if you think about it, they haven't really had a big pull-apart brawl
No.
on SmackDown. Not like they do on Raw.
I think they might have did one with Joe and AJ before one of their matches.
Well, but before Joe and AJ, when's the last time you saw a good pull-apart brawl?
No, they save those for Brock Lesnar mostly.
Yeah, which is, of course, Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
And we only see that every, 3 to 4 months.
Yeah, exactly. Styles says that he's going to spend his time with his family until now. Says that his daughter Annie keeps saying that she's looking under her bed and in her closet to see if her Uncle Joe is anywhere there. Like, he's a monster.
Well, he is.
And AJ says he will not leave his house until he gets confirmation that Samoa Joe is on an airplane to Australia.
But if Joe leaves late, how is AJ going to know?
I don't know. Maybe he has someone stalking Samoa Joe for him.
They need to remember, some people like me overthink this crap.
Yeah. It is curious how he's going to get confirmation that Samoa Joe has left.
Yeah. What, are they going to be on the same flight?
Yeah.
With Samoa Joe going to be in coach and AJ going to be in first class and Joe's going to come up and attack him on the plane? Yeah, that would be like a nice little segment, though.
Yeah, the plane ride from hell come to life.
It'll be filmed on cell phone videos from bystanders.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure if that would be good for this, but that would be good for some sort of storyline, I think. I've never really seen that.
Final deletion in the sky.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
And
everybody has parachute. Loser has to jump.
AJ ends the promo by saying that he will bury Samoa Joe alive.
Which I talked with you about before we went on the air. Does that mean it's going to be a buried alive match, a casket match, or just a regular?
It's still just going to be a no disqualification match.
But just bury Joe alive to me sets up a different kind of match.
Yeah.
Could, anyway.
Yeah. That just was trying to seem intense, I guess.
Yeah, I took it out of context, I guess.
Yeah. But I really would have liked to see the thing that I mentioned earlier with AJ pulling the set apart and just coming out and attacking Joe. But
that'd be good for this, what's going on right now.
But nonetheless, that is the last of the build we had for this match going into Saturday.
Okay, there's been a lot of build to this match.
Yeah, there's been enough. It's been enough to keep me interested in it. So up next, we have R-Truth and Carmella coming down to the ring.
The fabulous Truth.
Yes, and they do the rap.
What's up?
Yeah.
And whatever Carmella says.
She just says, "What's up?"
Oh, okay. I don't pay attention to what she says.
It's funny how she's just instantly over as a babyface just because she's with R-Truth.
But the second the mixed tag tournament's over, she's going to be on her own and back to being booed.
I hope not. I feel like there's some miles out of R-Truth and Carmella on TV.
R-Truth still got some time left in this business. He hasn't pushed himself like some do to where he wears himself out.
Yeah.
So I think he's got a good 10 more years left.
If he stays in the condition he's in, he easily could.
Because he's only in his, mid-40s, I think?
I think he's like 42.
Okay, so early 40s.
Yeah.
So he's got an easy 10 years left if he keeps going the way he's going.
Yeah.
And Lord, we all know Carmella could use some help.
Yeah. I've enjoyed this Carmella and R-Truth pairing. There was chants of Truth TV throughout this match, which hopefully they listen to and bring back Truth TV.
I hope so. I love that.
Even though Miz did beat him for the rights to the show.
Yeah, but still a 7-second dance break.
Yeah, there was a dance break in the middle of this match too when Andrade and Zelina Vega do the stereo tranquilo, and then Truth or Carmella does a split, and then Truth jumps over Carmella into a split.
He did the same thing on the Mixed Match Challenge.
Yeah, that was a nice spot. But as they fight Almas and Vega out of the ring, Truth and Carmella do their dance break into commercial. There was some more flossing. I guess that's their go-to move.
Well, it's a family-friendly show. I'm pretty sure they don't want to see some club dancing.
Or maybe Carmella just doesn't know how to dance, and that's all she can do.
Well, that could be, too. She can moonwalk. not as good as The Miz, though.
Carmella has said that she's actually a rapper, though.
I'd like to hear it, then.
Yeah, this would be a nice time to bring that out.
Do a female remix of What's Up.
Yeah.
That would be good.
So, Truth and Carmella actually get the win here. Vega and Carmella are in the ring, and Carmella is going for a pin on Vega. Andrade Cien Almas comes in and pulls Carmella off of the cover.
Which is, it's getting really like an everyday thing where the men are interfering and pulling the women off of women.
Yeah. They
used to never make contact.
Yeah, they're going more into that. Especially with the biggest example of that in recent times was the Ronda Rousey and Kurt Angle against Triple H and Stephanie at Mania, when Triple H and Ronda had a ton of interaction throughout that match.
Yeah. But that was an awesome segment of the match.
Yeah, it was great. But this didn't go quite that far. Andrade pulls her off. Carmella goes for a super kick, but Andrade catches it. And Truth comes in and forces Andrade Cien Almas out of the ring. Vega would try to take advantage with a roll-up on Carmella, but she would turn that into the Code of Silence submission.
Which looks cool.
It is a good-looking move.
I mean, I need to watch it in slow-mo just to see how she puts it on so quick.
Yeah. Vega sort of had like a jackknife cover on Carmella, which transitioned pretty easily into the Code of Silence. And Vega taps out to Carmella for the win. This was nice. We keep Truth and Carmella in upward momentum. And obviously, I see a lot more for Andrade Cien Almas than this. Yeah. I think he's a main event star.
Just give him some time.
when you put the time in. But he didn't have to take the pin here. He didn't have to take the fall because Vega did. And there's no real future in Zelina Vega as a wrestler, so she can take losses. It's not going to hurt her.
Yeah, her money is her mouth. Yeah. On the outside.
Yeah, that's her role.
Yeah,
and so it's okay for her to take losses. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, and it didn't hurt Cien Almas at all. You know.
No, not at all. It just leaves him at the same spot. It didn't go up or down, pretty much.
Yeah.
So we have Tye Dillinger and Paige backstage. Tye wants a match with Randy. Paige gives him a match with Randy later tonight. And after that, we had New Day.
New Day?
And this was fascinating. So we are promised that New Day is going to come out for New Day Cooks. And Big E is supposed to give us a pancake recipe or something. And they brought out Mr. Bootiesworth.
Mr. Bootiesworth.
Who's carrying pancake batter.
Yeah, a big bowl of it.
And they have like a whole setup ready to show everyone how their pancakes are made. And they start the promo off, and Kofi says, like, first a word from our sponsors, and Big E shouts out ICO Pro, which made me laugh. And oh yeah, I forgot about this one too. They go to Mr. Bootiesworth, and they're gonna give him the mic to explain the pancake recipe. And I'm not sure which one of them said it, but one of the New Day members, as they're going to give him the mic, says that they're going to let Mr. Bootiesworth penetrate your ears. And this is when Sheamus and Cesaro's music hits. And Byron Saxton on commentary says, "Oh, I wanted to get my ears penetrated by Mr. Bootiesworth."
Oh my god.
And Corey just busts out laughing, and he's like, "Byron, I don't even know what to say to this."
Yeah, oh wow. Just a bad choice of words.
Well,
intentional though.
Yeah, he did it intentionally, and that's the one thing Byron is good at, is that he's not afraid of being the ass of the joke.
No. He's out there. He's the face commentator that doesn't mind making fun of himself or making a joke.
Yeah, I like that about him. And So Sheamus and Cesaro come out, and they talk about how the New Day are a joke, and they're going into a tag team title match talking about pancakes. And Sheamus says that the Swiss are famous for their great pastries, and Cesaro says that he's going to help the New Day with their baking process.
But what pastries are the Swiss known for?
I don't know.
I know they're known for, the Alps and the Army knife.
Well, let's see. We'll research this real quick. All right, so we actually paused to look for Swedish pastries, and we had there was Cinnabons on there. So, what else was there, Chris?
Chocolate balls.
Yeah, chocolate balls. There were chocolate-covered biscuits. Raspberry things.
Yeah, a little cookie with raspberry. I don't know if it was a filling or just on top.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff, though.
This is what we waste our time doing.
But we're investigative journalists.
Yeah, we have to make
on wrestling.
We have to make sure that what Sheamus said is true.
Yes. So the Swiss are known for stuff.
I'll say that it checks out.
Yes.
So Cesaro flips over the table with the pancakes and all, and they go to attack him, and it's a 3-on-2, but New Day starts off with the upper hand, but I think it was Sheamus comes in and hits Kofi on the top rope with flour.
Yeah, the big old bag of flour.
And that is what let them take control. They take out Kofi, Big E, and Xavier, and then they turn their attention to Mr. Booty'sworth.
Which I really thought they were going to do something to him, like some kind of move, just to be, the heel.
So they take the pancake batter that's in his hands.
And it's a big size bowl. It's probably, 15 inches diameter?
Yeah. Big bowl with the beater in it and whatnot. And they take off his hat, and they pour it in his hat, and then put his hat back on his head.
Poor guy.
And then they proceed to pour the rest of it that's still in the bowl on him, too.
Yeah. Making a big old mess of that mat.
And yeah, that was our go home angle for this tag team title match.
Yeah, I wasn't happy with that. I enjoyed the angle. The segment was pretty funny, but to be the go home angle, I didn't like.
Yeah, so whatever. Just we'll have the match at Super Showdown. Nothing's really intrigued me about this feud throughout, but
we've seen it before.
Yeah, I'm not sure what we can do to really get more interest in the tag team division, because there are some talent. There's a lot of talented teams in there, including these two.
It's just need to switch up the teams on each brand.
It's just nothing seems really fresh anymore at this point.
You know what? A unified tag team that goes on both shows every week. Both shows have the opportunity. I mean, you'd get more matches of different people.
Yeah. I think that there's not really enough depth in the tag team division to really have 2 tag team titles.
They have done it before.
Yeah.
But, again, it didn't last long.
Right. So, out next we had Tye Dillinger and Randy Orton. This match is set to take place, but as Randy Orton is making his way to the ring, Tye comes out and attacks him. The match never gets started. Tye gives Randy the back suplex onto the announce table, as Randy did to him last week.
Mm-hmm.
But Randy would take back control when he throws Tye over the barricade and does the draping DDT from the barricade to the floor. And we saw the next installation of innovative ways that Randy Orton hurts people, as he takes off the turnbuckle pad, not like the pad on the inside of the ring.
More like the connector.
Yeah, but what connects the turnbuckle to the ring post.
Yeah.
And he takes off the pad to that, and he puts Ty's finger in between the metal in it and just pulls his finger back.
Yeah.
Which someone in the front row was chanting 9 throughout this.
Well, that's what he'd have left after missing that finger.
Yeah. So, and that was it. Randy does another vicious assault. I'm sure this will just lead to Randy eventually beating Tye in a singles match.
Yeah,
just to hold over Randy until whatever they have planned for him next.
But what would they? I mean, I don't see what they have left for Orton.
Yeah,
he's going through pretty much everybody.
They'll find someone for him to attack that the fans like. Like if I could see when Rey Mysterio comes back some point soon, they could do Randy and Rey.
Well, Rey's going to go to Raw.
Yeah, I guess he could. I don't know. I look at the matches Rey could have on SmackDown, and I'm a lot more intrigued by it.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot more better matches on SmackDown.
Yeah.
But I'm just thinking Raw's 3 hours, they're going to put Mysterio on there.
I think Orton could also feud with Daniel Bryan if Bryan loses to The Miz.
He better not lose to The Miz.
But we'll get to that on our preview and predictions.
Yeah, he just can't lose to The Miz. Not with everything that's going on in the past 8 years.
So
if he does, I'll slap him myself.
We'll go forward here. After that, we had Shelton Benjamin, who is alive. We have not seen Shelton Benjamin for months.
When's the last time we did see him? When they split him and Gable?
Yeah, they split him and Gable, and he had a few singles matches.
And then that was it.
I remember he had a match with Daniel Bryan a few months ago, which was a good match.
Yeah.
And he had a match with Jeff Hardy, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I remember that one.
Other than that, though,
it's been a while.
Hasn't been much from Shelton Benjamin. But The Miz is backstage, and Miz is sort of hyping Benjamin up because he's going to take on Daniel Bryan later. And Miz says that Benjamin needs to make a statement. Benjamin says that he's been sitting on the bench for months now, and he's ready to make a statement. And Miz says that he will be on commentary to watch it himself. And that match would happen later in the night, but out next, we have Rusev coming out with Lana.
One night in Milwaukee.
What we have waited for so long. What we've waited for so long was the sequel to One Night in China, starring Lana, and One Night in Milwaukee. And Rusev comes out. He calls out Aiden English to show his bogus evidence, as Rusev put it. And Aiden sort of starts talking about Milwaukee and the films that have been produced from there and all this other stuff. And Lana says that he's stalling, and Aiden would eventually cut to the video. And it's a video of him practicing his promo that he's going to do on Milwaukee that night, and he's doing it into a camera.
Mm-hmm.
And Lana walks in, and she just says, like, I've been thinking about this for a while, and she says, I want you. And then the video immediately cuts off after that.
So you don't really know what she said.
Yeah, so...
I want you to go to hell. I want you, period. I mean, what?
Yeah, so I'm sure that the rest of this is like, I want you to help Rusev with this or something.
Or, I mean, is she singing "I Got You, Babe" by Cher? I want you to hold my hand.
That would be an epic conclusion to this. I feel like it could be something like, I want you to help set up Rusev's surprise birthday party.
Or, I want you to trip Rusev, or, it could go anywhere.
Oh, if they're conspiring against him.
Exactly.
I never thought of that. I imagine it'll just...
Picture Lana turning on Rusev.
And going with Aiden. That would be...
Just temporarily, just for something for the storyline.
That would be different. It could be shades of what they tried to do with Lana, Summer Rae, Dolph Ziggler, and Rusev a few years ago when they did sort of the love triangle.
Yeah.
But then Rusev and Lana announced themselves out of character that they were engaged.
Yeah.
And that they dropped the whole storyline because of that, and that apparently got Rusev a lot of heat.
They got both of them a lot of heat.
Yeah, both of them. But I never thought of that, but I imagine that Lana will stick with Rusev, and We'll eventually see the rest of the video that just is something completely irrelevant.
Oh, I could see her, taking Aiden's back just for now to make it look like she's turning on Rusev, just to
get back at him.
Info on Aiden for Rusev. Like a 007 type of thing.
I feel like that would be that would be a very roundabout thing. Like,
well, maybe I need to be on creative team.
Yeah, but what's the purpose of Lana being with English?
Well,
like, what information does Rusev need?
I come up with the idea is the writer's got to fill it
in. Like, what else is there to it? Rusev just wants to beat him up. I don't think he needs, like, his social security number or anything. Unless he really wants to ruin Aiden's life.
But they could also tie it into where, Rusev really wasn't over until Aiden came in.
Yeah.
And started doing the Rusev Day songs. I mean, people weren't cheering Rusev that much.
No, definitely not to the extent that they were.
But it makes me wonder, are they going to continue to cheer him now that Aiden's not with them?
I think so. I think he's too over to this point. Whether it was Aiden helped, obviously, but Rusev always got the rub from that, and he always was the one getting cheered. And nobody really ever cheered for English. They just cheered for the song.
Rusev Day.
Yeah.
But I mean, honestly, Aiden hasn't done anything to cheer about.
No, not a lot.
I mean, not like Rusev.
So, Rusev chases after English to end this.
Yeah, and the second Rusev was out the ring, Aiden was already behind the curtain.
Yeah.
So, and then it ended.
Yep. And then we got the Daniel Bryan versus Shelton Benjamin match. This was a pretty good TV match. And we see, before the match, we actually see Rusev backstage looking for Aiden. And Lana interrupts and tries to explain, says that there's more to it, and Rusev is just trying to find English.
And there's more to that video.
Yeah.
So I bet we see more on Saturday. I bet we'll see the rest of the video.
Maybe.
Or even next Tuesday, Rusev will come out with the full video.
Yeah, they don't have a match or anything for the show, so they might save it until SmackDown next week.
Yeah.
But then we cut back to the ring. We have Miz on commentary, who puts over Aiden a bit. Says that he can't wait to see the rest of it. And into the match, though, after the first commercial, we come back, and Bryan misses the diving headbutt. And
but it looked like he hit it. Or at least part of it.
Because Shelton rolled away kind of late, and the commentary even said like he didn't get all of it, but he got some of it.
Yeah, probably the worst part of it.
Yeah. So Bryan would later set up for the running knee, but Miz would run in and jump on the apron before Bryan would knock him down, and that would allow Benjamin to take advantage of the distraction and hit pay dirt and hit the 1-2-3 for the win on Daniel Bryan.
We all knew once Miz was on commentary and Bryan came out, he was going to interfere.
Yeah.
At some point.
I wasn't sure I expected Shelton Benjamin to actually get the win, though.
I wasn't either. I really thought, the Miz would distract Bryan. Bryan he might take a few beatings, but he'd turn it around and win.
Yeah, so Shelton gets a win. That's nice.
But
hopefully that builds to something for Shelton. But Shelton worked over the ribs on Bryan for most of the match, and then Miz would come in. He'd beat on the ribs of Bryan for a bit, and then hit the skull-crushing finale to close the segment.
Now, it does kind of work, though, with Bryan losing, because it gives Miz, I'm not going to say the upper hand, but mental upper hand on Saturday.
Right, it makes him, and if Bryan's selling an injury, too, it gives them something to work with in the match.
Exactly. Make Bryan a bigger underdog than he already is.
Yeah, it works. Definitely good stuff, I thought. And we had up next, Asuka versus Peyton Royce. I don't have any notes other than Asuka wins. She won with like a inverted Asuka lock, kind of. Like Peyton was on her stomach instead of on her back. And Asuka kind of wrapped her legs too. So, different version of it to get the win.
Yeah, I think just a filler match.
And, of course, they have Asuka and Naomi, the Empress and the Glow.
God.
The most creative name in WWE history, going up against the Iconics on this Saturday's show. A match that I don't care about, and I can't imagine how anyone would care about it.
No. I just want to see somebody shut the Iconics up. Their mouth. Well, I can't say their mouth, but half of their mouths are just so annoying.
Yes. You just don't like Billie Kay.
No, I don't. I can't stand it. Don't get me wrong. She's fun to watch in the ring.
She does have a very nasally sounding voice.
She just sounds like, oh my god, I just want to kill myself.
I don't know. She might do that intentionally.
She might.
Just to get people to hate her.
It very well could be. And if it is, then she does a good job. Good job at it.
So the main event of this show was Becky Lynch coming out for a Super Showdown surprise. Triple S's, the alliteration going here. Becky came out to unveil her own poster for the Super Showdown, and it's a poster with the main image being her standing over Charlotte with the title, which she did at the photo.
That was what, last week?
Yeah, we actually just got our text from Donald Trump during the show.
This is a test of the National Wireless Emergency Alert System. No action is needed. Well, I guess I'm going to miss work tomorrow.
Yeah, so...
Great, now I got Donald Trump texting me.
Shout out to Donald. Unfortunately, it won't let me text him back.
I'm glad it wouldn't.
What a nice thing that just happened live on the show.
Never know what's going to happen when you're on Enhancement Talent.
I wonder what sort of updates. Is he going to update us with tweets that he sends out? It'll just show up with his Twitter page.
Oh, that's okay. I've got a block button.
Yeah, but if he's sending it through an emergency alert, you're going to have no choice but to look at it.
God, don't do that. Don't curse me like that.
We had the Becky unveiling the poster.
Which was an awesome poster. It really was.
Yeah, very good design. Charlotte would run out, and Charlotte would spear Becky and do the figure four. She did the figure four from the inside of the ring to the outside with Charlotte hanging from the apron for leverage. And the crowd hated this.
Yeah.
They hated seeing Charlotte actually get the upper hand here. And that was the first time we really see Charlotte actually get the better hand of one of these beatings.
But it makes me wonder, should they turn Charlotte heel and keep Becky face?
They should.
I mean, the way that she's being cheered and Flair isn't.
I feel like Charlotte is so much more the natural heel.
She seems like it. I mean, she's her father's daughter. We all know Ric Flair is a better heel than face.
And we saw shades of it in her long championship run that she had in around 2016 through 2017.
Mm-hmm.
And she was just a natural at getting heat.
Yeah.
And be it in the ring and on the mic.
Becky was just too lovable to hate.
Yeah. And you can keep this badass character for Becky, but turn her face.
Yeah.
And it'd be fine. But I like what they're doing with Becky nonetheless. I don't have anything to complain about that. Kind of sent the crowd home unhappy to end the show with Charlotte having the upper hand.
But you know what? At least the women ended the show.
Yeah.
Even on Raw though, the last match was a women's match.
Yeah.
Before the Michaels and Undertaker and Kane segment. But that's kind of cool. The women are finishing and main eventing the TV.
Yeah, and it's appropriate too because I think this is the hottest angle going into the show on SmackDown, at least between Becky and Charlotte. So it's fitting that they have the final slot
between that or Joe and Styles.
Yeah, I mean I feel like I'm more into Becky and Charlotte.
Yeah,
but yeah, both of those. So that was SmackDown. And pretty good. It was okay. There was not a lot of good wrestling on this show, same as last week. It was a lot more build to the pay-per-view. I give it a C. I thought it was just okay. It was good in spots, and we built to the Rusev and English tension and got a pretty good teaser on that. The Joe and Styles stuff I thought was pretty hokey, but it was what it needed to be, I guess. And Becky Lynch is awesome. So
of course, now, I can't give it a grade. I wasn't able to watch it. I had my own stuff I had to do.
Yeah, we watched highlights.
From the highlights, maybe a C, maybe.
All right,
but don't quote me on that one.
Yeah, no trouble with that. But we will transition here into our Super Showdown prediction.
And even in your notes, you spelled super with 12 U's.
Yeah, exactly. It's like how, do you remember how Tony Chimmel used to introduce Edge? He would,
oh, God.
He would say, the rated R superstar, and his voice would crack on the U every time. Superstar.
Yeah.
Edge.
Yeah.
That's how I pictured Tony Chimmel saying Super Showdown.
Maybe they should bring him back to announce for the Super Showdown.
All right, so we're gonna get into the card here. Lots of there's 10 matches on the show. I think we counted.
Yeah.
It is supposed to be 5 hours long.
Don't know about a pre-show.
Yeah, there hasn't been a pre-show announced that I know of, so I imagine this is all just going to be together.
But didn't they have one in Saudi Arabia? I don't know.
I think they did, but they didn't have any matches. It was just the panel. Yeah, okay. I think so.
They might do the same thing, just an overview of the pay-per-view.
Yeah, but we're going to go through the card, preview the match, give our predictions. The first match on this card we have is Cedric Alexander versus Buddy Murphy. And I'll also read off the betting odds for all these matches in case you're curious. Cedric Alexander is the underdog in this match at plus 140, while Buddy Murphy is the favorites at minus 180. Cedric Alexander defending the Cruiserweight title against Buddy Murphy in his hometown of Melbourne, Australia. Not just his home country. He's actually from Melbourne. So this is his home city.
Nice.
I don't keep up a lot with 205 Live, but I do watch some of the matches from now and then when I hear that something's good. And Buddy Murphy and Cedric Alexander had a fantastic match a while back. And I think if you give this match 20, 25 minutes, they're going to steal the show in this match.
If they give it time.
I really feel like these two can just have an all-out, really good, fast-paced match. Both of them are very capable of it. Especially with the investment that the crowd is going to have in Buddy Murphy. This could be a really fun match.
Yeah, I don't keep up with it, so it's hard for me. Now, if I'm right, Buddy Murphy, he's the one that is or was with Alexa Bliss.
Yeah. T and Alexa Bliss are still together.
Okay, so
they may be married.
I obviously cannot root for him because he's with my future wife.
Your future ex-wife.
Well, yeah, future ex-wife.
Exactly.
So I have to go for Cedric on this one.
I am going to go with Buddy Murphy. I think they changed the Cruiserweight title here in the hometown for Buddy Murphy to have that big moment for him. The crowd will definitely be into him winning, I think. So give them what they want. And I think this should open the show, too. I think this would be a great opener.
But rumor is that no titles will change hands.
Yeah,
that's just a rumor, though.
Yeah, that's one of the rumors is that none of the titles will change hands. But I think if there is any title that changes hands, it's this one. I think this is really one of the few that I can see changing.
Yeah, I can't see any other titles changing hands. Not at this pay-per-view.
Right. So
maybe later on at Evolution.
Yeah. We'll move on into Asuka and Naomi against the Iconics.
Do we even need to mention this?
The match that no one could possibly care about in their right mind, but
including the 4 people in the ring.
The Iconics are also from Australia.
That's true.
They are not from Melbourne, though. They're from Sydney, Australia.
But still
home country. And I imagine they're going to do a promo beforehand where they get where they say how happy they are to be out of here and how much better America is or something, just to get heat.
Well, that could be, or they could just totally reverse it.
Yeah, they could just play into it, but I don't imagine they will.
Just to get the crowd going for the home country people.
Yeah. I imagine they'll start off like that, and then they'll do the whole, like, oh, I'm a baby face, and oh, wait, no, I'm a heel.
Like what Bliss does.
What Carmella's done, things like that. I just hope they don't do that with Buddy Murphy.
No.
I feel like they should just have him be the hometown hero.
Yeah, and let him lose.
Even though he is a heel.
And let him lose.
Yeah. So,
just for being on my future club.
Asuka and Naomi are underdogs here at plus 115. The Iconics are favored at minus 145.
Which doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Why the Iconics are favored?
I guess just because it's their hometown. Or home country.
That would be the only way, because I would choose the ref over them.
Yeah, I have Asuka and Naomi winning here.
Me too.
All right. Moving on, we have the New Day defending the SmackDown Tag Team titles against The Bar of Sheamus and Cesaro.
And I'm just so tired of seeing the same teams go at it every month.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's not the Usos, it's, The Bar. And if The Bar has the title, it's New Day. It's just the same thing over and over. I really don't care who wins.
Yeah.
I'm going to say New Day, but I really don't care right now.
Yeah, I'm also going to go with the New Day. They are favored at minus 600, so pretty heavy favorites.
I'm kind of hoping they'll debut a new breakfast item. I'm tired of pancakes. How about waffles?
That's sacrilegious, though, for them.
They got the Bootios, like the cereal. They got the pancakes. I mean,
maybe we can see
some
toast.
Bacon. Toast.
I'd like toast.
There you go.
Just regular toast. Just bread. That's it.
Just toasted bread. Toast.
Yeah. The Bar are underdogs at plus 400 for this.
Which makes no sense why they're underdogs.
Why is that?
I just think the Bar has the upper hand. I don't think they're going to win, but I don't think they're the underdogs.
Yeah, as far as betting goes, I would say they're the underdogs. But I can't imagine the New Day lose this early.
I mean, it's just, looking at it from the wrestling side and beyond the kayfabe, it's just hard to bet on who's going to win when, either team could win and it really don't matter.
Yeah. It's one of the fun things about betting on pro wrestling, though. It's just that.
Don't do it. Guess what? We already know who's going to win. Well, somebody does.
Yeah. Well, that's when the smart money comes in before the pay-per-view and the odds change.
Yeah, right before.
Yep. So up next, we have Bobby Lashley and John Cena, who will be at this show to get his payday against Elias and Kevin Owens.
He must be done filming the Bumblebee movie.
Yeah. Cena and Lashley are favored at minus 600. Elias and Owens are at plus 400.
No shock.
Yeah, I can't imagine that Elias and Owens win this.
I can't see him bringing Cena in after, 6 months? Since WrestleMania?
Well, he did the Saudi Arabia show, too.
Okay, still in April.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that wasn't.
Yeah, it was just like 3 weeks after Mania.
Yeah, so.
At the end of April.
Okay.
So, you figure 6 months? Roughly?
Right around.
Now he comes back. They're not going to let him lose.
Yeah. I have Cena and Lashley here.
Easy. Hands down.
But we'll make it a little more interesting. Who do you think takes the pin, Elias or Owens?
I can actually see it being a disqualification.
Oh, yeah?
I could see Elias or Owens.
Another lame finish between Elias and Owens and Lashley.
Because honestly, being that Cena's involved in this storyline's not going to go anywhere with the four of them.
Yeah.
Who really cares? I mean, I can see it just being a disqualification.
I'm going to say Cena pins Elias because hopefully they're going to protect Owens and do something with him later.
Maybe. We will see.
And then we have the Bellas and Ronda Rousey going up against the Riot Squad. And as of right now, Liv Morgan is advertised for this match.
Yes.
As
of now.
I don't know if they have her cleared already or if they think that she'll be ready to go by then. It could be a situation where they're not sure, and if they have to, they could make a last-minute switch. And even
Michael Cole did state that she would be there.
Yeah. And even with her wrestling this match, though, it's a 6-woman tag, so she obviously doesn't have to do the bulk of the work.
Just don't be in there when Bree's in there.
Yeah, just avoid Brie Bella at all costs.
And you'll go in there with Ronda, it's just your arm getting ripped off. It's not your head.
So this one was a bit surprising to me, is that the Bellas and Ronda Rousey are at minus 1,000 favorites for this match, with the Riot Squad at plus 600 underdogs. So to put that in perspective, you would have to bet $100 on the Bellas and Ronda Rousey to win 10.
Yeah, so you bet $100, you'd win 110.
Yeah, you'd get 110 back if they win. And I actually like the Riot Squad in that scenario, because if I put $10 on the Riot Squad, I get 60 if they win.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's very possible that there's some sort of miscommunication between Nikki and Ronda, which sets up to Nikki and Brie turning on Ronda, and that leads to the Riot Squad getting the win. I can definitely see that happening.
Or maybe just Nikki turning on Brie and Ronda.
Yeah. I imagine they'll keep Nikki and Brie together during this, but you never know. They've turned on each other 1,000 times before.
Yeah, and they have no reason to stick together unless they're going to debut women tag titles at some point.
Yeah.
Other than that, there's no reason.
So, who do you have here?
I'm choosing Rousey to win over the Riot Squad. I don't care about the Bellas.
Just Rousey.
Yeah, just take the Bellas out of the match. Just let it be Rousey versus the Riot Squad. But no, I'm choosing the Bellas and Rousey.
What have we deferred on so far? I think we've had mostly the same. Did you have Cedric?
Yeah, I had Cedric. You had Buddy.
Okay.
And then we both had Asuka, Naomi,
and New Day, and Cena and Elias.
And then I'm guessing you're going to go with Bellas and Rousey. But
yeah, I'm going to stick with Bellas and Rousey, only because I don't imagine if the Riot Squad was going to win this, that
Rousey would be involved.
That Rousey would have beaten Ruby this Monday. I don't really
if it was
see that as a proper build to it.
If it was Natalya in there instead of Rousey, I'd have to say Riot Squad.
Yeah,
but I can't see them making Rousey lose right now.
Yeah, she's still undefeated, so they might want to protect that. But if they don't, they can have someone else take the pin, and it'll work out fine.
Yeah.
But for the sake of it, I'm going to stick with the Bellas and Ronda Rousey. Even though I do think the Riot Squad is ridiculously underdogged at plus 600, because I think they definitely could win this match.
They could. I don't see it, but I think they could.
So then we have the Shield versus the Dogs of War, the Pack, whatever it is,
the
Braun, Dolph, Drew.
B,
and D. Yes, B, D, and D. And we have the Shield, our favorite, at minus 330, and the other three guys are plus 260 underdogs. I have got the Shield here.
I have to go with the Shield because of what I've read rumor-wise and what has, was supposed to happen before Ambrose was injured. I'm going to go with the Shield because I think they're going to continue that.
Yeah, I think they're going to feed into...
At least for a little while longer.
I think they've made it too obvious that they're setting up Dean Ambrose to turn heel, so that I think that because it's so obvious, he's not going to do it yet.
Exactly. Not yet. He's going to wait until everybody forgets about it.
Yeah.
And it comes as a big shock. And it's going to be a big event, like a pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm. And I do think that a good way of doing this, though, leading into the triple threat match at Saudi Arabia, I think what I would like is if Braun pins Roman here to set up going into that match that Braun has the win over him.
I would like it. I mean, I'm choosing the Shield, but I can see that. I'd like to see Braun win and beat Roman, get the pin.
Yeah, I also have the Shield, but I would like seeing that at the same time. Up next, we have the SmackDown Women's Championship. Becky Lynch defending against Charlotte Flair. Becky is at minus 200 favorite. Charlotte is at plus 160 as the underdog.
It's not that, much of a difference between the two. Really.
No, not a big difference.
One of the smallest differences.
Yeah. Charlotte isn't a heavy underdog, but she is still the underdog in this match.
Becky or Flair on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Becky. Yes. Becky wins this match.
No, hands down.
She keeps her momentum going into Evolution and everything beyond there. She holds the title for 20 years until she retires.
With the title, it'll be like the 12th different title that she has, but she'll still be champion.
Yeah. That's my scenario. Anyway.
Just watch her pull like a Medusa and just quit with the title.
Yeah. I think that Becky and Charlotte could have a really good match here.
Oh, yeah.
They did at Hell in a Cell, but it never really felt like it went into that next gear, and I'd like to see them sort of go into that in this one. Hopefully they build off that match and get a lot more stuff in. 5 hours for 10 matches. They should have enough time.
Well, yeah, but 5 hours for 10 matches, and out of 5 hours, you got like 2.5 to 3 hours of backstage interviews, in-ring interviews, video packages. What happened the last couple of weeks or months for each match? There's so much wasted time. Let the women and wrestlers have more.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there. But next we have Daniel Bryan against The Miz, with the winner of this match getting a future WWE Championship match. It doesn't say when, but it just says they will have a future championship match.
Well, Royal Rumble would be the perfect opportunity because the champion isn't in the Royal Rumble match.
Yeah, but that's
2 more months.
3 months away. Yeah. That'd be a long wait, but they could do that.
Or December.
You could do Survivor Series, too.
Yeah. But,
or even they could do the freaking Saudi Arabia show, too, if they want.
Well, yeah, if they wanted to. Hands down, I'm going to go with Bryan. I can't see him I just can't see him not winning this.
So, Bryan lost the first match to Miz at SummerSlam with some trickery by The Miz and Maurice. And then Brie lost the mixed tag match for them. So that's 2 losses for Bryan and Miz. And I'm predicting that The Miz wins again here.
Think so?
I think that The Miz will win here, and he will beat AJ Styles for the championship. But then Daniel Bryan will win the Royal Rumble, and that'll set up their WrestleMania match for the title.
Okay.
And then Bryan finally gets the big win there.
But they could also reverse that, too. Where
Bryan's the champion and you have Miz win the Rumble.
But I could see Bryan winning the Royal Rumble before Miz.
Yeah. I think that it would be very good for me, too, because Daniel Bryan hasn't won the Royal Rumble, and it's something that in 2014 and 2015, everyone wanted Daniel Bryan to win the Rumble. Yeah. They thought it was the perfect spot for him. And in one of them, he was tossed out early.
Real quick.
And in the other one, he wasn't even in the match.
Yeah.
Even though there was no reason for him not to be, he wasn't in the match. And that was when Rey Mysterio came out at number 30 and got booed out of the building because everyone wanted to see Daniel Bryan.
Which is sad because Rey Mysterio is awesome.
Rey did not deserve that. And it wasn't that the people didn't like Rey Mysterio. It was that they wanted Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, they wanted Bryan more.
Which I can't even blame them.
I can't blame him, but I can blame him for booing. You don't have to boo Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
You could.
At the same time, it's like they weren't booing Rey; they were just booing.
They were booing
creative.
Yeah,
more likely.
Exactly. They were booing that, not really Rey. But it just happened when Rey came out.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I have Miz here.
Oh wow!
I think he wins this.
So that's 2 that we've disagreed on.
Yeah.
Which ain't bad, 2 out of 8 so far.
Yeah. Pretty good. We'll see who ends up winning this.
I'm curious about how these next 2 are going to go.
So, up next we have AJ Styles defending the WWE Championship against Samoa Joe. No countouts, no disqualifications. AJ Styles is the favorite at minus 200 with Samoa Joe at plus 160. The build to this throughout was the whole Samoa Joe involving family of AJ Styles. AJ Styles is finally out for retribution here. And I can't see it going any other way than AJ winning. I think he has to win this match to properly end this storyline, for him to get his just due over Samoa Joe for all that he's done. I think that is the finish here, and then AJ transitions into his next feud, with this being his third match against Samoa Joe.
I would like to see AJ's wife, Wendy, in the audience get a slap against Samoa Joe's face sometime throughout the match. AJ brings him over, they're outside fighting right in front of him, and she just reaches up and bam, and the ref doesn't see it. I'd like to see something like that. Just, it makes it feel like, okay, well, there really is a wife.
Yeah.
I mean, we're getting these names. I mean, yeah, I know we've seen her on TV before, but
at
one time.
SummerSlam,
yeah,
I think.
Yeah, that's when he went postal.
Yeah,
on Joe. But I'd like to see a big slap in the face before AJ wins.
So you have AJ here?
I do. Don't get me wrong. Joe's a good opponent. I don't think he's championship ready.
Yeah.
Not yet.
I think Samoa Joe is ready to be champion, but I just don't think this is the right spot for it. I think they're gonna continue AJ's long reign.
I can see AJ having a CM Punk type of reign.
Yeah, and he's getting close.
I mean,
that's
longer than Brock Lesnar, but more defenses than CM Punk.
Yeah, I'm not sure what we do with Samoa Joe after this, though, because this will be 3 times in a row that he hasn't beaten Styles for the championship.
Easy. Team him up with Bray Wyatt.
Do you move him to Raw?
Yep.
That'd be a fun team, I guess.
It'd be different.
Yeah.
2 big guys. I mean, we don't have a lot of big men.
Yeah, you could put them against AOP.
There you go. Or even Braun and McIntyre against AOP.
Yeah. So, we have what will inevitably be the main event for this show.
Oh, there's no doubt. There's no doubt.
Even though there is a WWE Championship match on the show, I can't imagine this won't be the main event, as we have, for the last time ever,
again,
until it happens again,
yeah,
Triple H versus The Undertaker, Shawn Michaels in Triple H's corner, Kane in
Mayor Kane and Taker's corner.
Kane and Undertaker's corner. Triple H is the underdog at plus 140 for this, as The Undertaker is favored at minus 180. Chris, who do you have, and why do you have him?
I'm going Taker. Hands down, Taker. And we've talked about this before. I don't know if it was on air or not, but he's limited on matches.
Yeah,
they want
the amount of bumps he can take.
So, and he's got one hell of a legacy when he leaves.
Yeah,
you don't want one of his last few matches to be a loss in such a big event. You don't want that. Triple H, he can take the bumps, he can take the losses, and not be affected.
Right. Triple H has a longer career
and
than
we only
Undertaker.
See Triple H, what, 2-3 times a year wrestle?
Yeah.
Same with Undertaker.
Mm-hmm.
It's just Undertaker has less time.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason, I think.
So initially, when this match was announced, I was on the same wavelength as that. I couldn't imagine that Triple H would win this match. But with the build that they've done and the involvement of Shawn Michaels and Kane, and with the rumor and that there is supposedly going to be DX versus the Brothers of Destruction at the Saudi Arabia show that they're building to.
God, I hope not.
I'm picking Triple H.
Don't get me wrong, I'd love to see the match. I would.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, we've talked about it. I don't want to see Michaels wrestle again.
Yeah.
I want him to stick to his retirement and be the only wrestler in history to do it.
Yeah, we talked about that last week. But I have Triple H winning this match.
Ooh.
And the reason being is that for us to get to the match that it looks like is going to be the destination, I think, with Michaels and Triple H against Undertaker and Kane, I think the logical thing is to have Triple H defeat The Undertaker via some sort of interference by Shawn Michaels. whether it be a distraction or if Undertaker
super kick or something,
or if Undertaker gets in Michaels' face and he super kicks him, or if Michaels super kicks Kane and then that distracts Taker or something like that. Okay. I think Triple H wins, and that builds to our match for crown jewel between the four of them, where ultimately, I don't know if when we get there, the logical thing would be to have Taker and Kane win, but then it's like we have Shawn Michaels' first match back and a loss.
And at the same time, this Saturday is supposed to be the last time ever we see Undertaker and Triple H. Why are we going to see it in a tag match?
Well, it's a singles match.
They didn't specify. They said last time ever. That means I should never see Triple H wrestling in the same ring as The Undertaker at the same time. Tag match, I don't care if it's a battle royal. It shouldn't happen.
The end of an era that is still an era.
That was 10 years ago. Later. Maybe this will actually be the end of the era.
No, this era never ends.
No, it won't.
Undertaker is going to be 80 years old, and they're going to be rolling him out in a wheelchair for nostalgia segments.
You know it. They'll just have him on wires, and he'll just look like he's walking, but they'll just be sliding him along a railing, you know?
So that was the predictions for the WWE Super Showdown.
It's going to be good.
I imagine that there should be some fun matches on this. I don't look forward to 5 hours of this. I think there's a lot of things that we didn't need, like Asuka and Naomi against the Iconics.
Yeah.
But I do imagine there will be some standout performances and some great matches. And I look for something that will get me excited or that will have me intrigued by the end with Triple H and The Undertaker. I think that they might have something up their sleeve.
I just don't.
And some sort of big ending for this show.
I mean, I just don't want them to ruin Shawn Michaels' retirement legacy. Because if he wrestles again, he's going to be no better than Ric Flair and all the other millions of wrestlers that quit and then 10 minutes later they're wrestling somewhere else again. Or back at WWE.
He's the only one.
He's the only one that has not wrestled after he officially retired.
Yeah. And we'll get into that, I'm sure, again, more when it's not speculation and it's confirmed. But I imagine Sunday. That's where we're going.
Yeah, we may know more Sunday.
Yeah.
After we watch it Saturday, we might know what's going to happen. Maybe they'll all hug it out again like the Click did in the middle of the ring.
They could end with the same thing they did in their Hell in a Cell match where they're all at the top of the apron. Or, I'm sorry, the top of the ramp.
Oh, back in the day, yeah. Yeah, and then hugging each other and raising each other's arms. Yeah.
Except this time it'll have Kane.
Yeah. Now, what they need is a special referee.
Huh.
Somebody neutral, and I don't mean like a Mick Foley.
I was going to say, what's Mick Foley doing?
Don't get me wrong. I mean, I like Mick Foley. I'd like to see him, but I just think a regular ref is too small for this match. And get somebody that has issues with both Taker and Triple H. So there's no like one-sided.
Yeah, I mean we speculated before this match really built that Shawn Michaels could end up being the special guest referee again.
And I thought about that too. Until they mentioned Kane. And it's like, well, obviously that's not going to happen if Kane's going to be there.
Yeah.
But, maybe like the 1, 2, 3 kid will come back. Or Razor Ramon.
I mean, you could pull out Steve Austin.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if his knees could handle being a ref anymore.
Yeah, he was a ref. When was the last time he did a guest referee?
When was the last time he was on TV?
He did he had some stunners on Raw 25.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so that was January.
Yeah, so I imagine he can handle being a referee.
He might be able to, and I'd have to do my history, but I'm sure I know he's got history with Triple H.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how much history with Taker.
He wasn't one of Taker's biggest rivals. Like, he never had a Mania match with him, but he had some big matches.
What about, like, The Rock?
That would be something.
Bringing him back just as a referee, because I know he went against Triple H and Taker.
Yeah, many times.
So that would be one good outside referee that nobody would even consider.
You could do Cena. Instead of having him in that tag match, you could have done him as the referee for this.
He could do both.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, as long as the match isn't right before the main event, he could do both.
Yeah, he definitely has history with both. That would fit the bill.
Oh, yeah.
Especially after he lost to Taker at last WrestleMania in a quick fashion.
Really quick fashion. But that's Taker's fault. Well, not his fault, but it's because of Taker.
Yeah, what the circumstances provided.
Yeah.
But that's enough speculation over things that aren't going to happen. Instead, we're going to close the show here. We've went a good bit. 2 hours, looks like. Second week in a row, we've had 2 hours.
Should be more than that, considering we covered Raw, SmackDown, and our predictions. You'd think it'd be longer. But then it wasn't much of either show.
Yeah, wasn't a lot to dive into too much. But again, as I mentioned earlier, we are everywhere. You can find us on Podbean, Spreaker, YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, and Stitcher Radio. The YouTube channel, I encourage you all to subscribe to that because I upload clips from the show. And I'll try to even do some YouTube exclusives that maybe we can do with like some news and reactions to shows as they happen, sort of things like that. We'll work on that. Obviously, as I said earlier, reviews on iTunes, Stitcher, anywhere else you can review us, greatly appreciated. 5 stars, 5 stars, 5 stars, 5 stars. 5 stars.
And as you've noticed, we have yet to have a shout out, so what's that tell you?
Yeah. Leave us a review. Help us.
Somebody.
Help us grow.
Just a review.
I'm going to start making alternate accounts and reviewing the show myself.
I'm going to be my best friend.
Don't let that happen. Just give me one review. Just one.
We will just make like 50 different accounts just to review ourselves.
Yes, we'll eventually get up there in the algorithms that Stitcher and iTunes have to help us get found by people.
Yeah, eventually.
But all of the links for those beautiful things will be in the description of wherever you may be watching us from or listening to us, I guess.
But that really doesn't do any good if they're listening in their car while they're driving. Links aren't going to help them.
Well, they can look at it later, Chris. All that matters is they're there. Whenever you need them, they're there. And we're gonna close this show. Chris last week decided to say "wrestle you later."
Yeah, I got bored.
So that's gonna be our new closing. Chris,
wrestle you later.
Goodbye.